Alongside Frankie Corrado. Frankie, tonight is the Leafs' biggest game of the year so far, and Berube is starting Anthony Stolarz. Is that a pretty clear message that he's the Leafs' number one goaltender going into the playoffs?
It feels like that's the guy that they want to start come the playoff time, Gino. But once you get there, I have a hard time imagining the Leafs just going with one goaltender the entire way, unless things just go really well for you and you're winning games and you're winning them by serious margins and you're control of the whole series. The reality is the Leafs are not a team that is designed to be a one goaltender team because of the workload for both these guys and the performances. Both these guys have had portions of the season where they have been excellent. Stolarz did it a lot at the start of the season. Wall has been mixed in there, and Stolarz has played better of late for the Maple Leafs for sure, but there's still a little more time to see, how things are going to shake out in the crease. But Stolarz getting the important games right now would likely indicate that he will start a series, but where it goes from there, I think that still remains to be up in the air because there's not one clear-cut number one guy in Toronto.
Frankie, you played in this league. If you're going to go to the postseason like the Leafs are, I get the workload and controlling the workload in the regular season. But come playoff time, do you not have to go with your number one? Do you not have to have one guy and say, you're our guy, go in there? Because even Berube today was asked about it, and he coyly said, we're discussing platooning. Do you not need a number one in the playoffs?
If his name is Andrei Vasilevsky, then yes, you can have one guy the entire way. But we have seen so many examples of teams having to use multiple goaltenders in order to win Stanley Cups. I mean, how far back do you want to go, Gino? You want to go to the Pittsburgh Penguins when they had to use Zatkov, Fleury, and Murray to win Stanley Cups? Or the Washington Capitals who had to use Grubauer and Holtby? Or the Vegas Golden Knights who had to use a whole platoon of goaltenders? Like Colorado Avalanche didn't have Darcy Kemper play the entire way. So I get it. Like in theory, it's nice to have a number one guy and say that is the guy the entire way. But the reality is there are a few teams that are actually built to be executed that way. So if the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to make a run at this thing and play multiple rounds and push deep into the playoffs, both goaltenders are going to be used. And if it isn't the case, that means things have gone unbelievably well for Toronto and they've had it in cruise control the entire way. And Gino, I don't know how likely that scenario is.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to tonight's game. Brad Marchand is up against him tonight. At his best, he was a Leaf killer. 86 points in 85 career games, 4 playoff series, 4 playoff wins over the Leafs for Marchand. But this isn't the same Marchand that we've seen in the past. How much of a threat is he now?
He is part of a group of guys in Florida where he doesn't have to be the guy. So he will fit right in for sure, but he's not the centerpiece. And I think the game plan with Marchand, it doesn't change for Toronto. You want to have enough pushback where you toe the line so you don't get dragged into his antics and his extra stuff after the whistle, and you don't let that frustrate you, but you do have to show some kind of pushback in those types of altercations. So the way you execute it doesn't really change for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the role is different for Brad Marchand. He's not the centerpiece, but he fits in well in Florida. He's just another one of the guys who is consistently doing the things that make it agitating to play against. And for the Florida Panthers, they do that so well. They know how to toe the line. Toronto, if they play Florida in the playoffs, will have to do the same thing that, we all know they have to do. They have to toe the line playing Brad Marchand, have enough pushback, but don't be undisciplined and don't let him drag you down.
The Panthers got Marchand for a conditional second-round pick. Had the Leafs known all that's what it would have taken to get him, they might have offered the same thing just to avoid having to face him.